It's Monday, June 18, 2007, and you're watching The Ointment. I'm Steve Tatham, and today's the day Beatles fans have long dreaded. Today is the day that Paul McCartney has to change the lyrics to his song to When I Was 64, because today is Paul McCartney's 65th birthday. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Our top story, actress Jessica Alba dominated the movie box office over this past weekend with her film Fantastic Four, which is an amazing accomplishment when you consider at the same time she had to install an emergency government in Palestine. I'm sorry, what's that? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, apparently that wasn't Jessica Alba, but Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. And you know what? He didn't even place at the box office, so really, what's the big deal with him? And speaking of international news, British Prime Minister for the time being, Tony Blair, is revealed in a new British documentary to have known at the time that the Bush administration had no plans to preserve the peace in Iraq. But you know what he did? He went ahead and jumped in anyway. It's kind of like being engaged to Britney Spears. You know the future's a train wreck, but you just go along for the ride. There were 3 major suicide bombings in Afghanistan over the last several days. It's a message from the Taliban saying to the United States, you know what? Iraq isn't the only quagmire in town. The murder trial of record producer Phil Specter goes into yet another week today, and there's going to be some dramatic testimony about Henry Lee, the forensic scientist. And I'd say it's just about time to cast the TV movie, and it really all depends on which wig Phil shows up in. If it's this one, I'd say the casting is a slam dunk for Art Garfunkel, and yet if he shows up in this wig, we gotta go with Carol Channing. A young man is trying to set a world's record by collecting plastic wrap. He has a 250-pound ball of plastic wrap. Believe it or not, this is a record chronicled in the Guinness Book of World Records. The current world's record holder for the largest plastic sphere is held by the late Anna Nicole Smith. And finally, in medical news, the diet pill Alli is now available over the counter. It was formerly available only by prescription. But before you rush out and buy it, you should be aware that there are some unpleasant side effects like anal leakage, flatulence, and unpredictable rectal discharge. Yes. So you know what? It's best that it's available over the counter because you don't want to see what's happening under that counter. Here are my thoughts on this. If you lose 10 or 20 pounds, you may just find them in your shorts. That's The Ointment for another day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Steve Tatham, and that's news. We'll catch you tomorrow, everybody.